What's up, everyone? This is Justin Wong, and my last video that I did for AMA Ask Me Anything, it was pretty popular. I had a lot of questions from you guys and gave my answers, so I guess we should just do a second one. So I got some questions that I tweeted the other day, and yeah, let's go. This one is from Disturbed Corpse. Why did you spam that kid on MKX with Jax? Well,
you just go easy on me.
Welcome to
I'm new to the game.
Welcome to the real world! It wasn't my intention, you know, because my Mortal Kombat streams were like pretty like popular, and it's because of like how either it was informative I was with the characters, and also, you know, the trolly stuff. Like sometimes I'll just like blindfold myself playing, call it Kenshi mode, and then I'll just pick a heavy weapons Jax and just, you know, throw rocket launchers all day. Welcome to the real world! Time to learn! You gonna learn today! So that was kind of where it came from. And, you know, obviously, you know, the Asian Lamb, he talked on the mic, and, you know, it was obviously like an 8-year-old kid, and, you know, I had no mic connected, so the stream was like, do it, you know, spam, spam, spam. So, yeah, that's kind of how it happened, and it became like a sort of viral video where, you know, I just did a rocket launch to this kid. But, you know, it's pretty cool. It was fun, and you know, actually maybe like 2 months ago he actually joined my PlayStation chat, and you know, he was just still there, so it's pretty cool. I think he knew like what he got himself into. So shout out to Asian Lamb. You're gonna learn! This is the real world! You learn it early, son!
That's all you ever do in your house?
So this next question is from Binkley. What is the best Asian dessert? Like, if you had to introduce someone to Asian desserts, what would you choose? This has come up in conversations I had with people. LOL. I guess the best Asian dessert for me, it's, I mean, it depends. Like, there's like maybe like level 1, level 2, and like level 3, right? Level 1, I would say green tea ice cream. You can't go wrong with like a soft serve or just, you know, a scoop of green tea ice cream. I would say level 2 would obviously be like mochi. Mochi is really good, and I really love mochi. I love especially ice cream mochi. Like the mango ice cream mochi is amazing. So if you ever had a chance to like see mochi on the menu and it's ice cream, make sure you get the mango one. That one like will blow your mind. And I would say the best Asian dessert, level 3, shave ice. Shave ice, add some condensed milk on there, and you know, like let's say strawberry shave ice. You add some fresh fruit strawberry syrup, and condensed milk, and probably some other stuff. That is crazy. You need to get some shave ice, especially strawberry flavor. Strawberry is probably the best flavor, and make sure they have condensed milk. That is ridiculous. This one is from Little Muscle 133. Have you ever thought of hosting your own tournament and becoming a tournament director in the future? Your name in the title would sell itself. Well, a lot of my friends ask me to, like, you know, run my own major, my own tournament, but I mean, doing tournament stuff it takes a lot of work, a lot of planning, and it's not easy. Like, people say, oh, TOs have it easy and everything. No, it's really hard to, like, you know, bring all these people together, put your own money in there, and, you know, you're hoping you break even or even just make a little bit of money, right? Obviously, the big tournaments make a lot of money, but that's because of all the years and hard work they put into it. But, you know, starting off small, most likely you're probably going to take a loss no matter what. And it's one of those things I did thought about, but to me, like, I'd rather still be a player. And even if I wasn't a player, I'd rather still be a commentator. And obviously I'm doing more YouTube stuff, so more capturing content and, you know, putting it together and, you know, showing to you guys. Like, that's kind of like what I want to do at the moment. So tournament director might be like the last stepping stone that I probably will just look into maybe in a few years, but now I don't think I would want to host my own tournament. This question is from @BagJarrell. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Is it harder to stay in the FGC the older you get? I mean, a lot of old school cats kind of just went to the grown-up life, and just that's what they did, right? You have like you know, John Choi. He's not really involved anymore. Eddie Lee, Even Alex Vi, he doesn't really play competitively anymore. He's more of a tournament director. So there's a lot of like old school legends that has kind of grown apart from the FGC or the tournament scene in general. The 10 years, I mean, hoping to, be a dad, look up, like, just raise my children. And it's because one of those things where me growing up, I never had like the feeling of just like a father figure or a mother figure. I had my grandma, but obviously all the kids, like growing up having their mom and dad together, like I never had that. So it's one of those things that I want to like make sure that when I'm in that position that I'm not a single dad, or I couldn't take up the responsibility of having a child. So I would say that's kind of my main focus, being a cool dad, able to work in the gaming industry and kind of live that life. But obviously I'll probably still be playing online fighting games, most likely, being in rank mode and all this stuff in 10 years. This one's from Nyan Ya Mew Mew. What differentiates your defensive playstyle from other defensive players that makes you so much stronger? And also, are you more proactive defense or reactive defense? So I would say what really makes me different from other defensive players is that I don't get bored playing lame. Some people, if you watch them play, they'll play lame and then randomly they'll just jump. And then they're like, oh yeah, I just took a risk there because maybe you didn't think I was going to do that. So I can just will sit there and time you out. Even if I'm losing, I'll still take my time. I'm not in a rush. And I'll just kind of dwindle your health down little by little. So I think that's what makes my defensive play stronger than other defensive players, is that I just like lame stuff, right? And I would say I am more in the middle of proactive and reactive defense. I would say back in the day I was more reactive defense, but as I get older, obviously my reactions are not as crisp when I was 22, 23, and then so I have more knowledge of saying, oh, I think he's gonna come here right now in this situation. So I could definitely see myself being half proactive and half reactive for defense now. So it's not as strong as compared to back in the day. This one's from Yamin Gira 13. Worst fighting game that you enjoy. Worst fighting game I really enjoy playing, and I still play it to this day, or when I have a chance, is this SNK game called Double Dragon. It's I guess it's a remake from the movie, because they have movie scenes in the background from some of the levels, and obviously you have Billy, Jimmy, and then you have a lot of random characters like a Bobo, Adobo, something like that. And then there's a ninja, a drunken guy, there's some I guess characters from the Billy and the Double Dragon lore. And I really like that game. It's fun. It's broken. It doesn't make any sense, but it was one of those games that me and a couple of other friends that played when we were little, and on the hacked Xbox One, and then the regular Xbox, the original Xbox, and we just randomly played random fighting games, and that was the one that really stuck out, where we grinded out and tried to learn tech and infinites and matchups. So I would say Double Dragon for that whatever, I don't know what company, but it's an SNK game. That game was amazing. This question is from Sisu Aika. How important is the young man factor to fighting games? Commentators talk about reactions quite a lot, but for old fogies like me, 34, can I still hope to compete? Well, young man factors are important to fighting games, but I mean, if you think about it, all the people that are in their 30s are still competing, they're still playing, and if you look at the CPT leaderboard, all the old folks, the old fogies, are in the top 10. We resemble most of the top 10, I would say. So it's one of those things that, sure, young people do have advantage, but when it comes to a fighting game, I think that age is not really a factor. Sure, you might not be as crisp or the best compared to when you were younger, in your 20s or your teens, but you'll still be able to compete in tournaments, you know what I mean? So I do think old fogies like you can still compete. So go to the next tournament. This one is J Daminga. Before being signed to an esports org, did you ever think playing fighting games would be a job for you? I actually never thought that. I usually just went to fighting game tournaments before I was sponsored, and off of my own just money I earned from my job that I was working at like a Dave and Buster's or a Circuit City, and I would use that money to go to the tournament and compete. And even if I won the tournament, it was like $300-400. So yeah, I break even. So I learned a bunch of other games to kind of make some type of money. But it wasn't something where I thought man, this is gonna blow up. I'm gonna make thousands and thousands of dollars. I was just content. I was growing up as a teen. A couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. Use it for the arcade. Buy some Dragon Ball VHS tape back in the day because internet wasn't there, and have some food and so forth and so forth. But I never thought it would turn out to where I am today, where I'm signed as Echo Fox Street Fighter V professional player, traveling around the whole world, and just making content for you guys, you watching me on twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters and stuff like that. Never thought that at all. Completely never thought that. This one is from Raging Pixel Show. Favorite Asian food you can eat with and without chopsticks? Come on, man. We need at least one stereotype question. Favorite Asian food you can eat with chopsticks? I guess you can't. It's a toss-up between ramen and pho. Fight! So I would say it's a seasonal thing for ramen and pho. I would say for winter, around this time of the year, I would love to have pho, just because it warms you up. Ramen's more flavorful, but even then, I could eat ramen anytime I want when I'm in Japan. Because ramen in Japan kills whatever we have in NA. So I would say pho, because even the pho in Vietnam, it's better, but the quality of our ingredients here are better too. So yeah, I'm gonna say pho is probably the best Asian food with chopsticks. Without chopstick, I'm gonna say it's a toss-up between dumplings or sushi. Fight! So I'm gonna go say dumplings, because you can't really go wrong or say you have a bad dumpling, but you can really say that you have bad sushi before, right? Not every time when you have sushi, it's gonna be top quality or good quality, or the rice and the fish might break, or it smells too fishy. So can't go wrong with dumplings, man. Dumplings, unbeatable. This one's from Wicked X Mage. How do you feel about weeklies and bi-weeklies was going away? Local tournaments in general. None of this esports stuff, because that stuff isn't going away. Well, I don't think weeklies and bi-weeklies are going away. I do believe that they probably will get smaller attendance, because it seems like it's a trend. When X top player or X upcoming player starts performing really well in majors, getting sponsorship opportunities, they obviously won't show up to weeklies and bi-weeklies. But you have to remember that where we came from, every player came from a weekly and bi-weekly at one point, because that's where we practiced, that's where we got our experience. So I don't think they'll go away. I do think that because more players are more involved in esports, they're just more busy or too tired to just go to the weekly because of all the traveling. Because man, playing in the Capcom Pro Tour, it's almost every single week, or at least 2-3 times a month, that you're traveling for an activation or a tournament or an event. So obviously weeklies and bi-weeklies won't have the same draw for X dot player, but I mean the local community is still gonna attend, still gonna be there. You have Twitch, you have YouTube that you guys can upload your footage and archives. Back in the day, there was none of that. It was literally, you had to be at the arcade to know that there was a weekly going on, or go into the shoryuken.com/forums. But as a person that's from a different state or a different country, you couldn't watch it. It's one of those things that, right now, it's weeklies and bi-weeklies are at their most full-time high compared to before technology was involved. This one is from Pawang Hujans. What kind of basics do you think someone needs to master in order for them to be better at a fighting game? I would say execution. And anytime when it comes to learning a new fighting games, you have to make sure your execution is down. Sure, fundamentals here and there, but that's step 2. But execution is learning, understanding your character's combos, knowing how to do the combos is the most important part. I would say, just because let's say if you land a hit, can't do any damage, what's the point? You're not going to win that way, even if you have superior fundamentals, especially in a game that requires combos. Maybe back in the day where it's like Street Fighter 2, where it's just Hadouken, Dragon Punch, Sonic Boom, Flash Kick, like it was a special move, just really like, you know, zoning and fun. That's where fundamentals sure comes to play more than combos. But in today's games, combos are everything. So combo saves lives. Don't forget about that. Smite Down. What's your next fighter you plan on going competitive with? So I got this question a lot. But more in terms of asking me if I'm going to play Smash Bros. Ultimate. So I am going to play Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm going to try. I like playing Smash. I like watching Smash. So you guys that follow me on social media know that I'm a fan of just the Smash community in general. So I'm definitely going to play Smash Ultimate. But another game that I hope that does come out, I would love to play competitive, is also the next Mortal Kombat. Just watching back the old videos, I loved Mortal Kombat. But just like the way I was playing Mortal Kombat X with like Raiden, and also trolling with like Jax, and just learning every other character, it was so fun. It brought really good memories playing Mortal Kombat X. So I really want to put more effort and time into it, just because all I've been doing is just playing Street Fighter 5. I do like Street Fighter 5, but man, just like only going to tournaments and playing one game here and there, unless they have like the oldies like CVS 2, Third Strike, Marvel 2, like it gets kind of boring just playing one game at a time. So I would love to just go back to becoming a multi-fighting game player. I think I'll have more fun overall. So this is the last question. This is from the Capcom Cup champ @_ Mena RD_. Do you think it's possible to any country to catch up to Japan in fighting games? First of all, Tekken is pretty much like dominated by our Korean overlords. So Koreans have definitely surpassed Japan in that. I would say KOF is also another game that China and Latin America has overcome. Obviously, it's not free, right? It's not like Korea just wipes Japan free, or China and like Latin America wipes Japan free. It's still a toss-up. Like Japan will always be a threat in a game, no matter what. But I'm gonna assume that you're thinking about like Capcom games, Street Fighter, and I would say that it's hard, because when it comes to Street Fighter, I would say in Japan, there's so much more opportunities and just events that, you know, cater to only Street Fighter players, right? So you have all these like shows that you see in Japan that Tokido, Fujimura, like Hatsumimi just always involved with, and like it's really Street Fighter, right? And then even in America, where we have like Capcom kind of like dictates pretty much our just, you know, all the scenes, all the tournaments. Everyone just cares about Street Fighter. So I would say it's pretty hard to surpass Japan in Street Fighter, because literally there's pro players that lived outside of Tokyo, but ever since they took this seriously, became a professional, want to become a professional, have that type of dream, they all moved to Tokyo to be closer to the best of the best, and just to play instead of just online. So obviously, like, it's weird, because let's say if you're not well off, or you didn't have a lot of money, like people will just like, you know what, I believe in my dream, I'm gonna do it and see it through. If it doesn't work, I'll just go back to like the regular life, grinding up money again and stuff like that. But you know, obviously in different countries or different areas, like the sacrifices wouldn't be made to be in that level of being the best. But that's what Japan, I would say, has over us. Like the fact that there's people that really like their profession is a crane game catcher. Just think about that. Like Japan's mindset mentality is so much stronger compared to us. And also, like, you know, America, man, we have the first world problems, #first world problems. So we do like kind of like instigate or just be hypocritical about like practicing or just like training or getting together, because there's so much money to be won here. But in Japan, it's recently where money became a thing. Before, it was all pride, which is like the kind of the main difference. So I would say that it's really hard for countries to catch up with Japan, but I think in terms of just uniting as one, because when you think about it, more of the pro players from the Latin America scene, the Europe scene, and the America scene, they kind of root for each other to beat like the Asian overlords, you know. So it's one of those things that if we came together and form as just one unity, that I would say it's possible to overtake Japan. But if it's like country versus country, Japan will always probably reign supreme. So that was all the questions that I chose out. I know there was like 100 more questions and stuff like that, but I mean, there's always a third video. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the answers to my questions. Please share the video, subscribe to the channel, all that just jazz, all that good stuff, right? And you know, I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the answers, the questions, and what future contents that you would like me to make for you guys. Peace out.